Hello friends, I hope you're feeling amazing today. If you want your life to be more focused, calm, and happier, stay with me until the end of this video because we're going to explore a powerful, scientifically backed tool. We're going to summarize the Mindful Way Workbook, an 8-week mindfulness program that helps reduce depression, anxiety, and emotional stress with practical exercises you can use right away. The book is written by 3 experts. John Teasdale, psychologist and researcher, co-developer of MBCT. Mark Williams, professor at Oxford University, founder of the Oxford Mindfulness Center. Zindel Segal, professor at University of Toronto, specialist in mood disorders. MBCT stands for Mindfulness-Based Cognitive Therapy, a method combining mindfulness with cognitive therapy to help you face negative thoughts and emotions without judgment, breaking the cycle of stress and depression. In this video, I'll give you a clear summary of the book, show practical exercises, and help you bring mindfulness into your daily life. So if you want to live more mindfully and stress-free, stay tuned until the end. Chapter 1. Welcome. Welcome to the 8-week MBCT program. In this first chapter, the authors introduce you to what mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCT, really is and why it matters. MBCT was developed as a structured approach to help people deal with persistent emotional challenges like depression and anxiety. Research shows that MBCT is effective not only for reducing symptoms of depression, but also for improving emotional well-being more broadly. You can use this workbook in different ways, whether as a supplement to a professionally guided course, as part of therapy, or simply as a self-help tool. The chapter begins by acknowledging that many people have experienced prolonged unhappiness or emotional struggle, and it can feel really overwhelming to try to do something about it. This sets the tone. You're not alone, and this program is designed to give you practical, step-by-step skills to explore your own thoughts and emotions with awareness instead of avoidance or struggle. A major theme is that our usual way of dealing with difficult emotions often backfires. Instead of helping us feel better, trying to avoid or suppress unpleasant thoughts tends to keep us stuck in emotional loops. MBCT works differently. Rather than pushing away thoughts or feelings, it helps you notice them with curiosity and without judgment. This allows you to step out of automatic patterns and develop a new relationship with your inner experience. The chapter emphasizes the difference between 2 common modes of mind. The doing mode, where you're constantly trying to fix or change your experience, focusing on problems and outcomes. The being mode, where you learn to observe your experience as it is, without trying to solve everything immediately. MBCT encourages more time in the being mode, which helps reduce rumination, worry, and emotional exhaustion. There are also real participant stories and testimonials shared in this section. These stories show how people who practiced MBCT experienced meaningful changes, such as feeling more connected to life, managing emotions with more clarity, and rediscovering joy in everyday moments. Although individual results vary, the consistent message is that daily practice matters. The more you engage with the exercises, the more your understanding and resilience grow. Practical setup and what you should do after this chapter. Make a commitment to practice regularly, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Consistency matters more than perfection. 6. Stop. Prepare a quiet, comfortable space where you can practice without interruptions. This physical setup helps signal your brain that it's time to be mindful. 7. Familiarize yourself with the audio practices, body scan, breathing exercises, etc., provided with the workbook. They'll be your main tools for learning mindfulness, step by step. 8. Overall, Chapter 1 sets the foundation for the 8-week journey by helping you understand what MBCT is, how your current patterns may keep you stuck, and why mindful awareness is a practical alternative for responding to difficult thoughts and feelings. It invites you to slow down, observe, and engage, a skill you'll continue to develop throughout the program. 9. Chapter 2. Depression, Unhappiness, and Emotional Distress. Hello, friends. In this chapter, we're going to explore a key question. Why do we sometimes get stuck in cycles of unhappiness, depression, and emotional distress? The authors explain that it's not simply about feeling bad. The problem arises from how our mind reacts to those feelings. Many of us try to push away unpleasant emotions, distract ourselves, or analyze them endlessly. But this often backfires, creating a loop where negative thoughts and feelings feed on each other. This cycle is called rumination, and it's a core mechanism that keeps us stuck in low mood or anxiety. They start with the story of Janny. One morning, she wakes up feeling heavy and uneasy. Even when she tries to distract herself with tea, reading, or emails, her mind repeats self-critical thoughts like, "Why is this happening again? What's wrong with me?" What starts as a normal feeling turns into a loop of judgment and worry, showing exactly how rumination works. The key insight is, emotions like sadness or discomfort aren't the enemy. The problem comes when we react automatically, trying to avoid, fix, or fight them. MBCT teaches us to notice emotions and thoughts with curiosity and without judgment, rather than being swept away by them. Key concepts. 1. The rumination cycle. Feeling arises naturally. Negative thoughts amplify the feeling. Trying to escape or fix it keeps the cycle going. 2. Avoidance backfires. Trying to suppress or distract yourself often makes your mind focus even more on the unpleasant feeling. 3. Being versus doing mode. Trying to solve internal emotional states as if they were external problems. Being mode. Observing your thoughts and feelings as they are, without needing to fix them immediately. This chapter is about seeing these patterns clearly, which prepares you to begin mindfulness practice in the next chapters. Practical exercises. Reflection exercise. Recognize the rumination loop. Think of a recent moment when you felt distressed. What triggered the feeling? How did your thoughts amplify it? Did you try to avoid or judge the feeling? Awareness task. Notice your internal reaction. Spend a few minutes bringing attention to a recent negative feeling. Notice where you feel it in your body. Observe the thoughts that come up without trying to fix them. Remain curious, not reactive. Journal prompt. Thoughts versus feelings. Write down 1. The emotion you felt. 2. The thoughts that came with it. 3. How you reacted. Avoided, judged, analyzed. This helps you separate the feeling itself from the stories your mind tells about it. Why this chapter matters. Chapter 2 lays the foundation for all the mindfulness practices in the workbook. Once you understand that it's your reactions, not the feelings themselves, that prolong distress, you're ready to learn mindfulness skills to interrupt these cycles and relate differently to your thoughts and emotions. So, in summary, notice, don't judge, and stay curious about your inner experience. This is the first step toward reducing rumination and building emotional resilience. Stay tuned, because in the next chapters, we'll start learning concrete mindfulness practices that you can do every day to transform how you relate to your mind and emotions. Tease. Chapter 3. Doing, Being, and Mindfulness. Hello, friends. In this chapter, we're exploring one of the most important ideas in mindfulness, the difference between the doing mode and the being mode of the mind, and how mindfulness helps us move from a stressful way of thinking into a clearer, calmer way of experiencing life. The authors explain that our minds operate in different modes, like gears in a car, and 2 of these are especially relevant to our emotional experience. The first is the doing mode, a mental state that is goal-oriented and focused on evaluating what's wrong, how to fix it, and what needs to happen next. This mode is great for solving external problems, like finishing a task or planning a project. But it doesn't work well with internal emotional experiences. When we try to fix emotions like sadness or anxiety the same way we fix external problems, we often get stuck and make things worse. In contrast, the being mode is about fully experiencing the present moment, noticing what's here right now without trying to change it. Instead of analyzing or escaping from thoughts and feelings, the being mode allows us to observe them with awareness and acceptance. This shift helps us break out of cycles of rumination and emotional distress. What doing mode looks like: constantly thinking about what's wrong, trying to fix or change feelings immediately, focusing on the past or future, running on autopilot without noticing the present moment. When the mind is in doing mode with emotions, it often gets stuck. We start analyzing why we feel a certain way, judging ourselves, or worrying about how to make the discomfort go away. This creates what the authors call driven doing, a scenario where the mind relentlessly tries to solve internal emotions the same way it solves external tasks. Unfortunately, this actually deepens emotional distress instead of relieving it. What being mode is? Being mode is the opposite of doing mode. It's not about solving or fixing anything. It's about paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, and without judgment. In being mode, you notice your thoughts and emotions as they arise. You allow experiences without resisting them. You connect more directly with what's happening right now. You approach life with curiosity and acceptance rather than urgency and fear. This way of being creates space between you and the automatic patterns of the mind. Instead of being driven by thoughts and emotions, you observe them and choose how to respond. That's at the heart of mindfulness. Where mindfulness comes in, the chapter introduces mindfulness as a bridge between these two modes of mind. Mindfulness cultivates the being mode by helping us slow down, notice the present moment, and observe our inner experience, thoughts, emotions, and sensations with gentle awareness. The authors describe mindfulness as paying attention intentionally in the present moment and without judgment. This practice doesn't suppress emotions or try to change them. It lets them be seen and understood directly. By recognizing when we're in doing mode and gently shifting into being mode through mindfulness, we learn to relate to our inner world in a new way, with openness, curiosity, and compassion instead of fear and resistance. Activities from this chapter. Although this chapter is more conceptual, it includes reflection and awareness exercises that prepare you for deeper mindfulness practice later in the program. Exercise 1. Notice the mode you're in. Take a moment today and ask yourself, am I in doing mode or being mode right now? If your mind is trying to fix a problem, evaluate it, or change it quickly, you're likely in doing mode. If you're noticing thoughts as they come without rush, you're closer to being mode. Write down what you notice. This builds awareness of how your mind usually operates. Exercise 2. Observe without fixing. Sit quietly for a few minutes and simply observe your thoughts and feelings. Notice them as events in the mind, not as facts or problems. All right, ask yourself, can I observe this without needing to change it? This strengthens your ability to shift into being mode. Reflection prompt, compare modes. Write down 2 recent experiences. 1. A moment when you tried to solve or fix an emotional experience, doing mode. 2. A moment when you simply noticed your experience without judgment, being mode. Compare how each felt. This helps you see the difference in your own life. All right, why this chapter matters. This chapter sets an essential foundation for mindfulness practice. It explains why our usual problem-solving mind, the doing mode, is useful in everyday tasks, but often harmful when applied to our internal emotional world. By recognizing when you're stuck in doing mode and gently practicing being mode through mindfulness, you open the door to freedom from ruminative thinking and emotional distress. The shift from doing to being is a core idea in MBCT and is what allows mindfulness to transform your relationship with thoughts and feelings. Chapter 4, Getting Ready. Chapter 4 focuses on preparing for the 8-week MBCT program. Proper preparation increases the effectiveness of mindfulness practice and emotional resilience. This chapter emphasizes setting up your environment, support system, time commitment, and intentions before starting the exercises. Support and community. Consider attending a class or guided group for encouragement and motivation. If this isn't possible, use the workbook and audio practices consistently. A trusted friend or family member can also act as an MBCT buddy to support your progress. Time and commitment. Daily practice is essential. Set aside about 1 hour each day for formal mindfulness exercises and mindful engagement with daily activities. Early challenges are common, but consistency leads to significant benefits. Practice environment. Choose a quiet, comfortable space, free from interruptions. This signals to the mind and body that it's time to slow down and focus. Simple tools like headphones for guided practices can enhance the experience. Program overview. The 8-week structure builds mindfulness progressively. Week 1, Awareness Beyond Automatic Pilot. Week 2, Sensing Directly Rather Than Thinking. Week 3, Bringing Scattered Attention Back to the Present. Week 4, Recognizing Aversion to Uncomfortable Experience. Week 5, Allowing Things to Be As They Are. Week 6, Seeing Thoughts as Thoughts. Week 7, Practicing Kindness in Action. Week 8, Integrating Mindfulness into Daily Life. Reflection and Practical Tools. Document your intentions. Write why you are doing this program and what you hope to gain. Set up reminders. Choose consistent practice times and inform supportive people. Create or refine your practice space. Make it tidy, comfortable, and inviting. Reflect on past experiences. Consider previous ways of handling difficult emotions and what. This chapter prepares you mentally, physically, and socially for the work ahead. Mindfulness is not just a concept. It is a practice requiring intentional daily engagement. Setting up your environment, securing support, managing time, and clarifying intentions increases the likelihood of meaningful change. Proper preparation makes the upcoming 8 weeks more effective, ensuring that mindfulness practice becomes a sustainable part of daily life. Stop. Chapter 5, Week 1, Beyond Automatic Pilot. This first week of the MBCT program introduces the theme of moving beyond automatic pilot, learning to live with awareness and conscious choice rather than letting the mind run habitually and unconsciously. Everyday life often involves performing routine actions while the mind is elsewhere, lost in thoughts about the past or future. On automatic pilot, attention drifts and we disconnect from direct experience, increasing the risk of rumination, stress, and emotional exhaustion. The orientation to Week 1 begins by contrasting 2 ways of experiencing life. In one, like walking with a young child, we slow down and notice the world with fresh awareness. In the other, like driving a familiar route, we suddenly realize we were completely unaware of our surroundings because the mind was on automatic pilot. Automatic pilot is linked to the doing mode of mind, where attention is absorbed in planning, worrying, or daydreaming instead of experiencing the present moment. This habitual mental pattern separates us from life's richness and can trap us in unhelpful emotional states. To begin waking up from autopilot, the chapter offers practical exercises that help the mind notice experience rather than immediately react or get lost in thought. Key ideas introduced in this week include Mindfulness helps you wake up to experience directly, rather than acting without awareness. Awareness of the present moment gives you the chance to notice early signs of distraction or emotional drift before the mind slips into rumination or stress. Practicing mindfulness in simple daily activities shows you how much of life you normally miss when on automatic pilot. Mindful Raisin Exercise. One of the first guided practices is the famous Raisin Exercise, which teaches you to pay full attention to a simple object as if seeing it for the first time. You explore the raisin visually, by touch, smell, and taste, with deliberate awareness, noticing every detail and sensory experience. If thoughts arise, you note them gently and bring attention back to the sensory experience. Daily practice for week 1. During this week, you're encouraged to practice the following daily exercises for 6 out of 7 days. 1. Body scan meditation. Lie down in a comfortable place, free from disturbance. Close your eyes and connect with the sensations of the body as you move attention slowly from one part of the body to another. Notice any sensations: pressure, warmth, tension, relaxation, without trying to change anything. The intention is awareness, not striving for relaxation. Notice thoughts and bring attention back to the body sensations when the mind wanders. After each session, write brief notes about what you noticed, your thoughts, sensations, and feelings during the body scan. 10. Bringing awareness to routine activities. Choose a daily activity you normally do on autopilot, such as walking, brushing your teeth, or making tea. Each day this week, remember to bring mindful attention to that activity. Notice the sensations, motions, and experience as you do it. At the end of the week, reflect on any differences between these mindful experiences and the usual automatic way of doing them. 11. Mindful eating. Similar to the raisin exercise, pick at least one meal or snack to eat mindfully during the week. Notice the taste, smell, texture, and sensations in the body during eating, just like you did with the raisin. Record each time you eat mindfully to track your practice. Reflection and homework. At the end of the week, review your notes and reflect on your experience of each exercise. Notice patterns in when you remembered to be mindful and when you forgot. Observing these patterns helps you understand how automatic pilot operates in your daily life and how awareness can be cultivated intentionally. Mindfulness practice isn't about eliminating thoughts or emotions. It's about noticing them directly and learning to respond with awareness rather than reacting automatically. This first week sets the foundation for the rest of the MBCT program by training attention and opening awareness to the richness of the present moment. Thanks so much for following along with this part of the workbook. The rest of the content will continue in the next part. Stay tuned. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.